What is up, Lightning Squad, and welcome back to Naybor Games. I am your host, Naybor. Today, trainers, we want to have a really laid back video. I didn't have anything to open today, and I wanted to try out some new content. I'm all the time on stream being asked what my favorite shinies are, what my favorite legendaries are, what my favorite starter Pokemon are. So I think moving forward, I kind of want to throw in a couple tier list videos. Today, I thought, why not start out with a bang and do all legendary Pokemon shinies ranked. I didn't change the tier ranking here. I would love to see what your tier ranking is going to be. If you leave it in the comments down below, I would love to know what your favorite shiny Pokemon that legendaries are. We're doing the shiny legendaries today. Maybe next time we do this, we'll just do the starter Pokemon and see. I think the starter Pokemon might be a little bit harder for me, but we'll wait and see. So today our ranking classes are S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, because I don't think anything's an F tier. Scratch that, there probably are some F tiers out there. Anyway, so without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into my my list. We're gonna go from Gen 1 all the way up to Gen 8. This list does not have Gen 9 on here, so I'm gonna post where I put in Miraidon and Koraidon. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and start this tier list. All right, so first up, it's Articuno. Articuno's, I love that they didn't include the Galarian versions of them because the Galarian shinies are so much better. I'm going to put Articuno in B tier because it's very desaturated, in all honesty. Still a great shiny overall, but still not, it's not there. It's not there for me. Up next is Zapdos, and unfortunately it's got to go to D here for me because it's so dissimilar. That's the wrong word. It's so similar to what it looks like in the regular form. At least Articuno's just slightly desaturated more. I think the beak and the talons for Zapdos are a little bit different, but overall it pretty much looks the same. Up next is Moltres, and we all know that this one is going to go into B tier as well because it looks like raw chicken. It's great. It's the most out of all three of them that's changed, so I definitely think it deserves to be higher, maybe. But just for me, Moltres is my least favorite of the Kanto birds, so I'm gonna put it on the B tier. Up next is one of my most favorite shinies of all time. Is this Mewtwo. Mewtwo has a fantastic shiny. It looks great. Its eyes change color. Its tail thing is green now. It looks fantastic. Green shinies aren't typically some of my most favorites. My favorites usually tend to be blue or black or gold. But this one goes straight to S tier because it's such a stark difference to what it looks like as its regular counterpart. Now, I just mentioned that I love blue shinies, and that's why Mew, which is a shiny that I don't have yet, and I'm working on Pokemon Go's masterwork research to get the shiny Mew, but shiny Mew goes straight to S tier for me just because of the blue color. It looks so good. It's fantastic. If I was doing Kanto shinies, it would be up there with Ditto because it and Ditto have a really cool blue shiny, and I love it. Moving on to Gen 2 now. We've got the legendary beast, and I'm gonna go ahead and put Raikou up here as well. Again, I know it's not one of, well, it is, it's gold. It's a gold shiny. This is one of my favorite shiny reactions I've ever had as well. I've spent quite some time trying to get the shiny Raikou in Dynamax Adventures, and I was so excited when we first got it. Easily S tier shiny for me. Up next, we've got Entei. Entei to me is just kind of take it or leave it, kind of mid. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't want to throw it up at the top either. So I put it into B. It's a great shiny. It's just not for me. It's not my favorite. So, however, Suicune, and I know Suicune's mostly blue as it is anyway, but I really love the dark blue mane that it has. So we're gonna put that into A tier. It's the first in the A tier, so we'll definitely take that. Great shiny overall. The only legendary beast that I do not have in shiny just yet. All right, we're gonna take Lugia, and even though I really like Lugia's shiny, it's not S tier for me. It's not S tier. It gives it more of a psychic vibe than its non-shiny version, but it's good. It's really good. I'm not saying it's not good, y'all. I'm not saying it's not good. However, could be better. All right. And I was gonna say the last legendary. There's mythicals in here as well. I totally forgot about mentioning that with Mew. We've got Ho-Oh here, and Ho-Oh is a great shiny, but again, it just kind of something about it misses for me. I like the gold and silver. I wish maybe Lugia could have been silver and Ho-Oh could have been gold entirely, but I digress. And I know I love gold shinies, but Ho-Oh is just gonna stay mid card for me. Here we come through with Celebi, and it is a fantastic mythical Pokemon. I'm really tempted to put this into S tier because it's such a great shiny. You know what? Sometimes you got to give into temptation. There we go. S tier shiny for Celebi, and it's a fantastic shiny overall. I have no complaints about that. Now on to Gen 3, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm putting all 3 Regis into the C tier. They're not that great. I'm going to move Regice down to D tier even. They're just not great. They're not great. They're okay shinies a little bit, these two, but Regice is terrible. All right. I said I love gold shinies, and that's absolutely right. I love Latias. So Latias is a great shiny. I'm confused why they didn't include their mega evolutions in here. While we do have some primals in here, but it's fine. But the mega evolution would have been put lower overall. I think the gold on Latias looks great, and I love Latios as well, but I do got to put that into the A tier. There's something that I don't like as much as I like the Latias, and I will definitely stand by that decision until my dying day. All right. I love black shinies, like I said, and I'm gonna go ahead and, kind of go back on what I said here with the black shinies, but I'm not a big fan of the primal reversions just being black. I mean, it depends on the game, and I think if you can't sell your shiny in every game, then why are you trying to get S tier? You just have to be okay with the A tier. And that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and put Kyogre into the A tier as well. It's a great shiny. Not my favorite, still a great shiny. However, unfortunately, Groudon's gonna go into the C tier. I'm not a fan of that greenish, yellowish color. It's not a fan of. I'm not a fan of that. So unfortunately, that is going to be added to our C tier. For this one, yours could be completely different. Your shiny Pokemon favorites could be completely different, and that's absolutely fine. Leave them in the comments below. I'd love to see. All right, here we go. We got Rayquaza. Rayquaza is going straight to S tier. It is probably one of the, if not the most famous black shiny. It's up there with Charizard and Greninja. I definitely am going to keep that in that tier probably forever. It's fantastic. We're currently shiny hunting for it in streams sometimes, so if you want to drop by, twitch.tv/Naybor Games. Jirachi's also a great shiny. I definitely think I'm going to put it into the A tier, though. It's just, there's something missing about it that I'm not 100% about, but I still like it. Here we go with the Oxus. I was trying to give big explanations into why I'm putting in specific tiers, but I don't have to do that. This is my shiny tier list, and I love shiny Deoxys. It's not gold, it's yellow, I know. But Deoxys used to be my favorite mythical Pokemon, and so I feel like I'm going to put it up there into that S tier. I love it. I love it very much. I just said I don't have to explain why. This is my list. The Lake Trio are all pretty mid for me, so I am going to list them all on the B tier. They're not terrible. Actually, I like Azelf. I'll put Azelf in A, but the other two, I mean, they're great, but not spectacular. And the only reason I like Azelf more is because the blue and the yellow look really great together. I'm a big fan of Dialga and less of a fan of Palkia. but they still are really great shinies. And I've did some artwork before for a streamer, and the color palette of the pink and that teal mixing together looks really great. So D-Tran, straight to D tier. I'm sorry, it's not good. I think it's awful. Not the worst shiny in the world, but I don't care for it very much. So that's why it's making the D tier. Regigigas is gonna go mid card for me. I know, blue shiny, it should be up higher. I have one in Pokemon Go. I'm super stoked about that, but it's just, there's something missing about it that is just not tickling that shiny spark I like. But both forms of Giratina, my favorite legendary Pokemon of all time, are gonna go up into the S tier because it's gold, it's blue, it's black, it's got all of it. It's my favorite shiny legendary too, so I'll definitely take that. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and put Cresselia up here as well because it is a fantastic shiny. I would take that shiny over most on this list. So yeah, Cresselia, S tier. Manaphy and Fione are great shinies in their own right, but I just don't care for them. So I'm gonna put them down into the D tier, unfortunately. Darkrai here is gonna go to A tier because I love that purple. I just think there needed to be something different, maybe about the little like scarf tooth thing it has around its neck. Could have been like, I don't know, maybe that green that its eye is, and it would have been perfect to me, but I think it's still a great shiny overall. Not gonna complain about it. Not gonna complain like I will for Shaman. The base form Shaman is gonna go into C tier, and Skyman is gonna go into B tier. I don't care for it a lot, but I like the Skyman a lot more than I like the regular Shaman. Arceus is the god Pokemon, and I might get smited for this, but I think it could be better. I think it could have a better shiny. That's just my opinion. All right, moving on. Victini. Victini's got a fantastic shiny. We're just gonna put it up there. It's not released. One day it will be. I can't wait for it to be. Cobalion is a terrible shiny in my opinion. I think it could have been a lot better. And Terrakion, I'm gonna put into C. I'm gonna put Terrakion into C tier, but Virizion into B tier. B tier. I think it's a pretty great shiny. It might even be A tier one day, but right now, B tier for me. All of the, I want to call them genies, the Gen Pokemon, unfortunately for me, are all gonna go into the D tier. I don't care for their shinies. I don't think they're great. Like, I'm gonna put Landorus. I'm moving Landorus up here as well. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Reshiram actually, I think, is a pretty cool shiny overall. I'm gonna put it in the mid side of everything. It could be a little bit better. I like the gold rings. It definitely has a better look to it, shiny-wise, than its counterpart of Zekrom. But Zekrom's not a D tier to me. I think it's still a great shiny. Just it's missing something. Kyurem, black and white both go to the A tier for me. I think they're a fantastic shiny. So is Kyurem. I love that shiny. I think it looks really cool. It invokes the ice and the darkness. I know it's not dark type, but ice is just like, it just seems like hope is lost whenever you look at it. And I think that evokes really good. That's really cool that Pokemon looks like that. All right, Keldeo. I love Keldeo. I love Keldeo very much, but its shiny is gonna have to, both forms are gonna have to be down here in the C. I don't mind the teal, and maybe one day when it gets released, I might change my tune. But right now, it's gonna stay in the C tier for me. All right, Meloetta. I'm sorry, dear. Speaking of tunes, but you're gonna go to D tier because it's just not working for me. It's just not working for me. I'm sorry, doll. It looks really cool. I like it, but it's not gonna make it above D tier for me right now. Unlike Genesect, which goes straight up to A, it almost goes to S tier for me. But I don't know. Maybe if it were gold, I'm partial to gold and black and blue shinies, of course. So maybe if it was a gold shiny, it would have been up there. But still, a really fantastic looking Pokemon. Speaking of certain blue shinies, I am putting Xerneas up here in the top tier. Xerneas is a fantastic looking shiny, and I would stand by that until the end of days. Here we go with the Bacon Bird. I think it's great. It's not perfect, so I'm going to put it in the B tier. All the Zygarde forms. Actually, no, I'm going to put 2 of the Zygarde forms into the A tier, but the complete form is going to S tier for me. That is a fantastic shiny. It looks like a Megazord. That's my reasoning. Diancie, mid-card for me as well. I like the pink on it. It looks really good. Maybe if the gemstones would have changed to a different color. Now, I know I said I like gold shinies, and the next 3 are gold. We've got both the Hoopa forms. And just because they're gold, they're going mid. That's the only saving grace for them, just being absolutely honest. However, Volcanion is going to go S tier, because that is a fantastic shiny. I love the pink and the blue and the gold. They all look so good together. I honestly am not a huge fan of the Tapus. I don't think they're terrible, but I am going to put them all in the middle of the list, with the exception of Tapu Fini, who will go up to A tier because I like the color scheme. I am not a fan of Cosmog and Cosmom, but I do like Solgaleo enough to put it in B tier. But Lunala is going straight to S tier. That is a dope looking shiny. It looks like an evil vampire bat, and I will definitely take that over anything from the Alola region, shiny wise. That just looks fantastic. That being said, I like both the Necrozma forms, but I just think, like, in all honesty, Necrozma's full form is probably one of the coolest looking shinies, and it's such a departure from what it looks like normally. It's normally that shiny yellow color, where to be like a pale blue looks fantastic. And I also have to put Necrozma up here in S tier as well, because it's a really cool midnight blue color. Magearna, unfortunately, I'm going to put Magearna down in D tier. I'm not a big fan of Magearna, and I hate that. I like its Pokeball form, and I hate that it didn't include the black Pokeball form, because that's a really cool shiny. But, yeah, this version of the shiny, I'm going to have to put in D tier. Zeraora, favorite mythical Pokemon. Enough said. I like that teal color. It looks good with the white. It's got a gold lightning bolt. I don't have to explain myself. I don't hate Melton, but it's not going to leave the mid for me. Whereas Melmetal will make it up to the A tier for me. All right, I'm going to rank the doggos in the same, like, they're both of their forms in the same one, because it's just, they're both great shinies. And whenever they're in their crown form, it looks even better. But I think it's fair in this case to move them into the same tier for me. That being said, here we go. Zacian. Even though I prefer Zamazenta, Zacian shiny is S tier and A tier with Zamazenta. And for this list right now, we're gonna leave off with Eternatus, and in all honesty, Eternatus is gonna get on C for me. If I were to rank Koraidon and Miraidon on this list as well, I'm going to be putting Koraidon in the S tier. It's a fantastic shiny. If I can throw it in post, I will. And then as for Miraidon, I'm gonna put it mid in the B tier. Most of the Paradox Pokemon from the future have kind of like a single monotone color scheme for their shinies, and I'm not a big fan of it. Some of them they work better than others, but Miraidon's just one that it could have benefited from maybe changing up some of the purple tones on it to something to bring out that steel gray color that they have. So anyways, trainers, this is my tier list for all the shiny Pokemon in Pokemon games. There are a couple things that are missing out of here, including like Mega Evolutions, but overall, I think this is a perfect list for me. Might change some things in the future. I'm always subject to do that, and that's my opinion. I can totally do that. But again, I want to know what you think in the comments down below. So leave a comment or link me your tier list. I'd love to see it. The link to how to do this is going to be in the description below. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss whenever I post content like this. I want to thank you all for watching this, especially everybody who's been here since day one. It means a lot to me. We keep growing, and it makes me super duper happy to see that happening. Remember to always be kind, be courteous, and be awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Catch you on the flip side.